Like my whole time growing up, we didn't talk to cops. We didn't like cops. If you were a cop, get the fuck away, running from them, talking shit, whatever. You know, and now I look at dudes like Sheriff Lamb. That dude's a fucking beast too. Down in Pinellas County, Arizona. Badass, purebred badass. You know what I mean? And these dudes are respectable. Like I spent so much time locked up. I'm living in these guys' house. You know, they're there all the time.
You know
so
what
I
it
got
is?
to know them, and they're fucking good people, man.
Yeah.
I think that they are starting to come out of their shell because they know they have support from their government more than ever before now. You know, before, if they just looked the wrong way, some internal investigations case was started and, oh, what did you do? You looked at that. You're losing your badge.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so that,
like,
that
and now
being
they
said,
can do their job.
There's still a few guys out there that are purebred shitbags. You know, that
they're always going to be
that
those,
wear a badge, and I've seen it firsthand. You know, I've seen horrible things happen at the hands of a dirty cop.
Yeah, but that's just like anything. It's right. It's not a good argument in the fact that there's bad cops. Well, there's bad drivers and bad
It's the same
cooks and bad
everything.
you know,
right?
So, you know, I'm just glad they're getting the support that they actually deserve to do their job. And that's important, you know, for law and order. I mean, I'm a person that agrees with law and order. I want my house to not be invaded by looters randomly or whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I never thought about that stuff till I owned a house.
Exactly. You know what's funny? You mentioned something. So I remember when I was a big weed head. Like every day I smoked blunt after that was my shit, right? And I remember when I used to smoke like that, I was always like, Rage Against the Machine. I'm like, yeah, fuck the man. And then all of a sudden, now that I'm older, I'm like wearing like Blue Lives Matter shit. And I realized that I only hated on the cops when I was a criminal.
Right. Absolutely. And when you have nothing for them to protect.
Now that I'm not a criminal, I'm like buying them coffee and shit. I picked up their fucking tab at the diner. And it's funny, like, am I getting mature? I don't think that's the case. I think I mean,
you're just being a citizen.
The script has changed a little bit.
No, dude, you think of in a way of survival, and survival entails law and order surrounding your family when your kids go off to school, when you go to sleep at night, all of that. And you appreciate, and all you're doing, in my opinion, is doing a kind gesture. You're not growing up because you're an idiot still with me, but you know,
up doesn't happen.
You're doing the right thing, and I'm like that too. If I was given the opportunity to, if a cop was next to me in line, that man's coffee or lunch would be paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. There's a guy on TikTok right now. He's a big, yoked up dude's huge, big black dude down in the South somewhere, and he put a video up of him going to SWAT training. And I found myself like I wasn't even. I'm commenting on this dude's video like, hey brother, you know, be safe out there, And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? You know, but ended up talking with the guy. He's a really nice guy, you know, and he's like, look, I wasn't always a cop. I used to be on the other side too. And I'm like, well, yeah, I used to be over there too, you know, and we can relate, you know, and without those people out there, fuck, dude, everybody here would have to essentially shoot somebody at some point.